My brother kicked me out of the family home in front of all the Thanksgiving guests. He didn't know that I'd been paying the mortgage for 5 years. 3 days later, he found out. My name is David, I'm 34 years old, and for the past 5 years, my family has treated me like the family failure. While my younger brother Marcus bragged about being the owner of our $450,000 family home in Westerville, Ohio, I was just the single brother who never left his parents' house. What they didn't know is that I'm an independent financial consultant with a client portfolio that brings me $120,000 annually gross. And since 2019, when our parents died in the accident, I've been secretly paying the monthly mortgage of $2,847 on the house where we all grew up. If you've ever been underestimated by your own family, this story is for you. After our parents passed away in 2019, the house officially went to Marcus in the will. The problem? He had just graduated from Ohio State in marketing with a starter job at $45,000 gross at Midwest Marketing Solutions. The mortgage on our family home in Westerville? $2,847 monthly. Imagine discovering that your younger brother, who always saw you as the family failure, would now inherit the house where you grew up, but had a net salary of only $2,800 after taxes and benefits. While Marcus was crying at the funeral worried about his impossible inheritance, I was already calculating. 2 options: let our childhood home be foreclosed by Fifth Third Bank in 6 months, or create the biggest theater of my life. 3 weeks later, Marcus received a miraculous call from Heritage Asset Solutions LLC, a company specializing in real estate management that wanted to use our house as a showcase for high-income clients. In exchange, they would cover all property costs. Marcus just needed to sign some papers. Marcus was euphoric. "David, I got an incredible deal. A company will pay for everything and I can keep the house." He never asked how a random company knew about our specific property. Never questioned why they chose exactly our house in Ohio. Never asked to see Heritage Asset Solutions office. Why? Because he wanted to believe he was smart enough to achieve something that 99% of people never could. My basement office became my headquarters. During the day, I managed portfolios of $50,000 to $300,000 for local business owners. Specialized financial consulting, the kind of work that wealthy people pay premium amounts to keep confidential. To the world upstairs, I was David, the guy who stays on the computer all day. Marcus loved telling friends, "My brother works from home." He does. I don't know, spreadsheets or something. At least someone has to stay home to receive the DoorDash deliveries, right? Jennifer, his wife, was even crueler. Sometimes I wonder if David has some kind of social anxiety problem. He never goes out, never brings anyone home, just stays in that dark basement doing whatever he does. What they didn't know is that my dark basement generated more in a single month than Marcus's annual salary. Every Sunday, Marcus made sure to include me in conversations about house plans. As if I were a free consultant living there as a favor. "David, what do you think about installing a heated pool? Heritage said they can cover the extra costs if it increases the property's showcase value." I pretended to think, "Sounds like a good idea, Marcus. You should propose it to them." 2 weeks later, Marcus was swimming in the $15,000 pool that I had financed through Heritage Asset Solutions LLC. With each of Marcus's achievements, my position in the family diminished further. When he got the top-of-the-line security system, $200 monthly that I paid, Jennifer commented, "Thank God at least one of the brothers has ambition and can get these things for the family." When they installed the home theater in the living room, $350 monthly financing that I covered, Marcus told me, "David, you can use it too. Consider it as a benefit of living here." When they renovated the garden with professional landscaping, $400 monthly that I outsourced, Jennifer posted on Instagram, "Thanks to my visionary husband, our house is becoming our dream home." Each of Jennifer's Instagram posts was a stab to the heart. She photographed the house, the garden, the pool, always with captions about how Marcus was an incredible provider, and how she was so lucky to have a man who takes such good care of the family. Meanwhile, at family gatherings, she would ask me, "David, don't you want to meet my cousin Sally? She's also kind of quiet. You two might hit it off." Marcus developed a complete persona based on the house that I sustained. At parties, he would tell how he negotiated an impressive deal with a real estate management company. How he had business vision to monetize family assets. How he was always 2 steps ahead in the real estate game. People were impressed. "Marcus, you're a genius. How did you discover this opportunity?" And Marcus, chest puffed out, "It's about networking, you know? Knowing the right people, being in the right place at the right time." I watched everything from the corner of the room, invisible, while literally funding every brick of that performance. If you're the type of person who supports family while they belittle you, subscribe to the channel. I share these real experiences every week. While Marcus celebrated his business genius, my real business exploded. In 2023, I landed 3 simultaneous corporate contracts: financial management for a pharmacy chain, $4,000 monthly, investment consulting for a medical group, $6,000 monthly, and financial restructuring for an automotive distributor, $8,000 monthly. Suddenly, I was making $138,000 annually before taxes. I bought a certified pre-owned 2022 Audi A6, but left it parked at a client's office parking lot so no one would see. Marcus drove a 2019 Honda Civic leased through the company and posted photos on LinkedIn as if it were a BMW. I had a fully paid-off Audi and everyone thought I took Uber or rode the bus. The situation reached the pinnacle of absurdity when Marcus started giving me financial advice. "David, you should think about your future. You can't depend on my generosity forever. How about taking an advanced Excel course? Maybe getting an office job?" Jennifer added, "Marcus is right. You have potential, David. You just need more ambition. Look what Marcus achieved. Maybe you can learn something from him." I smiled and thanked them for the advice. Meanwhile, I transferred another $2,847 from my account to cover the month's mortgage. Last Christmas before the fall, Marcus gave a lecture to the whole family about entrepreneurial vision and how to turn problems into opportunities. When I inherited this house, I could have seen it as a burden. But I saw an opportunity. And today, thanks to my strategy, our family has a solid foundation. Everyone applauded. Uncles, cousins, grandparents. Marcus was the family hero. Jennifer whispered to our cousin, "That's why I married him. He always finds a way to turn challenges into victories." I was in the corner of the room, eating silently, funding every word of that speech with my bank account. Heritage Asset Solutions had just closed the year with $42,600 in services provided to the Thompson family. And the CEO of Heritage Asset Solutions was being treated as the family failure who lived off his successful brother's charity. November 25, 2024. Thanksgiving at Marcus's house. Jennifer had turned the event into a large-scale production, table for 16 people, magazine-worthy decoration, 3 types of wine. The guests were a perfect cast for my humiliation: her parents, retired entrepreneurs, 3 couples of local executives, our cousin Sarah, lawyer, with her fiancé, and Jennifer's brother, cardiologist, with his wife. I arrived at 2:30 p.m. carrying 2 gourmet pies from Williams-Sonoma, $85 total, my 3 hours' salary. Jennifer examined the boxes with that condescending expression: "Oh David, you didn't need to spend so much. We know freelancers have tight budgets. These fancy pies must have cost you a fortune." She said this loud enough for everyone to hear. The first blow had been struck before dinner even began. During dinner, Jennifer orchestrated a true worship session for Marcus. Each dish served came accompanied by a new achievement of her husband. "Everyone, Marcus just closed an incredible contract that will earn us a trip to Cancun in January. All-inclusive resort, 5 stars." Applause from the table. "And we're planning to renovate the entire kitchen. Carrara marble, Sub-Zero appliances. Budget of $35,000, but Marcus always says, you have to invest in your home." More applause. Marcus smiled like a peacock. "Oh, and not to mention the new home automation system we installed. The house practically manages itself now." I chewed my turkey in silence, mentally calculating. Automation system that I paid for, $2,400, trip that will be financed with the money I save for them, $4,500, renovation that will come from the emergency reserve that I maintain, $35,000. Then came the moment that would change everything. Robert, Jennifer's father and former CEO of a regional construction company, asked the question I had been waiting for 5 years. "Marcus, son, I'm genuinely impressed. How does a regional manager maintain a property of this level? This house must be worth around $450,000, mortgage of at least $2,500 monthly. The real estate market is brutal for young professionals." The entire table turned to Marcus. Supreme moment of glory. Marcus leaned back, with that smile I knew so well. "Robert, it's an interesting story. When I inherited the house, I could have sold or rented it. But I had a different strategic vision." Dramatic pause. Everyone hanging on his words. "I secured a unique partnership with a company called Heritage Asset Solutions. They use our house as a premium showcase for VIP clients, and in exchange they cover practically all operational costs. It's a brilliant win-win." The table exploded in impressed exclamations. "What a brilliant strategy. Marcus, you're a business genius. How did you discover this opportunity?" Jennifer glowed with pride. "That's why I married him. Marcus always thinks outside the box. He turns problems into golden opportunities." Robert, increasingly impressed, continued, "Fascinating. You should give lectures on innovative real estate strategies. Young people need to learn this kind of entrepreneurial thinking." Jennifer seized the opportunity for the final stab. "Unfortunately, not everyone in the family inherited this visionary mentality. Some prefer to stay in their comfort zone, doing little computer jobs in the basement." Scattered laughter around the table. Pitying looks directed at me. Sarah, our lawyer cousin, decided to participate in the lynching. "David, aren't you inspired by your brother's success? Marcus could be an incredible mentor for you." Marcus, inflated like a Macy's parade balloon, responded, "I always offered advice to David. But you know how it is, some people are afraid to leave their comfort zone." The last straw came during dessert. Sarah, with that tone of false family concern, dropped the bomb. "David, I'm finalizing the list for my wedding in December. I really wanted to invite you, but, you know how these events are. The expected gifts cost at least $200 to $300. I don't want to put you in an embarrassing situation." The table fell into awkward silence. Everyone looking at me as if I were a wounded animal. Marcus, with a protective smile, said, "Sarah, relax. If David can't afford a gift, he can help with other things. He has a knack for general services." The entire table burst into nervous laughter. Jennifer decided to deliver the mercy blow. "Seriously, Marcus, I think it's time we had an adult conversation with David. He's 34 years old. He can't keep depending on our generosity indefinitely." Marcus nodded solemnly. "Jennifer is right. David, nothing personal, man. But you need to fly on your own wings. I'm giving you until December 31st to find your own place. It's for your own good. You'll never grow if you keep depending on us." 16 pairs of eyes turned to me. Expecting humiliation. Expecting desperation. Expecting tears. I finished my dessert calmly. Wiped my mouth with the napkin. Got up from the chair unhurriedly. The silence at the table was deafening. You could hear the tick-tock of the fireplace clock. I grabbed my coat, looked at Marcus with an icy smile, and said in a voice that cut through the air like a razor, "Marcus, you're going to discover the true value of my dependence very soon. Enjoy the weekend." I walked to the door while the entire table watched me in absolute silence. Jennifer tried to break the mood. David has always been dramatic. But there was something in my tone that made everyone uncomfortable. Black Friday. November 29th, 8:47 a.m. I called Fifth Third Bank. "Good morning, this is David Thompson, CEO of Heritage Asset Solutions LLC. I need to immediately cancel our management contract for the property at 1247 Maple Street, Westerville, Ohio 43081. Effective today." "Mr. Thompson, this means the owner assumes all financial responsibilities immediately. We have a payment of $2,847 due tomorrow, December 1st. "Perfect. Transfer all responsibility to Marcus Thompson. He's eager to demonstrate his financial independence." 10:23 a.m. Marcus's phone rings. "Mr. Thompson? This is Janet from Fifth Third Bank. We have an urgent situation with your mortgage. Heritage Asset Solutions LLC canceled the management contract effective today. The December payment, in the amount of $2,847, is due tomorrow and is outstanding." Silence on the other end. "Mr. Thompson? Are you there? There must be some mistake. I'm going to call Heritage right now." Marcus hung up and immediately dialed the number he had used for 5 years to talk to Heritage Asset Solutions. My cell phone rang. I answered on the third ring. David Thompson speaking. "David, wait, you answer the phone for Heritage Asset Solutions?" "Hi Marcus. I don't answer the phone for Heritage Asset Solutions. I am Heritage Asset Solutions LLC. Always have been. Congratulations on your independence." And I hung up. Marcus called me 47 times on Friday. Each missed call was a small victory. On Saturday morning, November 30th, at 7:15 a.m., my intercom rang insistently. Marcus and Jennifer were in the lobby of my new office in downtown Columbus, a skyscraper they had never visited in 5 years. When the elevator opened on the 12th floor, they were faced with a professional receptionist, an elegant waiting room, and a golden plaque, Thompson Financial Consulting LLC, Wealth Management and Corporate Advisory. Marcus turned pale. "David, is this your office?" The receptionist, Amanda, smiled professionally. "Mr. Thompson is in a meeting with a client, but he said you could wait. May I offer coffee or water?" Jennifer whispered to Marcus, "What meeting?" "It's Saturday morning." Through the glass door of my office, they could see me explaining investment charts to Dr. Peterson, owner of 3 medical clinics. On the desk, organized folders with "Portfolio Review $2.3 million" written on the cover. After 20 minutes of waiting, strategic psychology, I received them in my office. Panoramic view of the city, 2 computer screens displaying stock market data, certifications on the wall. "Marcus, Jennifer. What a surprise to find you here. In 5 years, you never showed curiosity about where I really work." Marcus, still processing. "David, this office, these clients, you." "I'm CEO of Thompson Financial Consulting LLC. I manage $4.7 million in investments for 23 corporate clients. My annual revenue in 2024 was $186,000 gross. Your questions?" Jennifer, with a trembling voice, But you always said you worked with computers." "I work with computers. Financial management systems worth millions of dollars, Jennifer. Spreadsheets that move entire fortunes." I opened the file I had kept organized for 5 years. 3 thick folders labeled, Heritage Asset Solutions LLC, Contracts and Payments. "Marcus, do you want to know how I discovered this genius opportunity at Heritage Asset Solutions?" I spread across the table, bank statements, transfer receipts, signed contracts, chronologically organized receipts. 2019 to 2024, mortgage, $171,600, 60 payments averaging $2,860. 2020 to 2024, maintenance/landscaping, $19,200, 48 payments of $400. 2021 to 2024, security system, $9,600, 48 payments of $200. 2022 to 2024, extra utilities, $5,400, 36 payments of $150. 2023 to 2024, home automation, $4,800, 24 payments of $200. 2024, pool and landscaping, $15,000, single payment. Total invested, $225,600. Jennifer, remember when you posted on Instagram about how Marcus was an incredible provider? These are the bank transfers that financed each one of those posts. Marcus was white as paper. "David. I didn't know." "Of course you didn't know. You were too busy humiliating me to pay attention to where the money that sustained your fantasies came from." I grabbed one last folder, Heritage Asset Solutions LLC, incorporation documents. "Marcus, do you want to know when Heritage Asset Solutions was founded?" I showed them the company incorporation documents, registered in my name, with my business address, using my signature, 3 weeks after our parents' funeral. "The company you thought was so clever to make this genius deal? That's me. The freelancer who messes with spreadsheets in the basement? That's me. The family failure who lives off charity? That's me paying $3,800 per month for you to maintain this fantasy of success." Jennifer started crying. "David, if you had told us." "Told you what, Jennifer?" My voice echoed through the office. That I made more money than both of you combined? So you could humiliate me even more? So Marcus would feel he wasn't the man of the house? So you'd lose your favorite object of contempt? I showed them my phone, 23 missed calls from the bank, 15 text messages from creditors, 8 emails from utility companies. This is the reality that starts Monday, Marcus. Without Heritage Asset Solutions, you have to pay. Mortgage, $2,847, due December 1st, Monday. Security system, $200, due December 3rd. Garden maintenance, $400, due December 5th. Pool electricity bill, $380, due December 7th. December total, $3,827. With Marcus's $65,000 salary, this represents 71% of your monthly net income. And that's just December. Marcus, desperate, David, we can negotiate something, pay you back. Pay back how, Marcus? I pulled out a calculator. You make $4,800 net per month. If you cut all superfluous expenses, restaurants, movies, Netflix, even Jennifer's Starbucks, maybe $1,200 remains. You'd need 15 years to pay me back, assuming zero interest. Jennifer was sobbing. We didn't know, if we had known. If you had known, what? Would you have treated me well out of interest? Did your love depend on my financial usefulness? On Monday, December 2nd, Marcus couldn't pay the mortgage. The bank initiated accelerated collection proceedings. Tuesday, Jennifer discovered they would need to cut $2,200 from the monthly family budget, including the children's piano lessons, $180 monthly that I secretly paid through a scholarship program. Wednesday, Marcus canceled the Cancun trip, $4,500, and indefinitely postponed kitchen renovation plans, $35,000. Thursday, they listed the Honda Civic for emergency sale. They needed $8,000 to cover the first 2 months of real expenses. Friday, Jennifer made an Instagram post about reevaluating priorities and focusing on what really matters. The comments asked about the kitchen renovation. She didn't respond to any. The following Friday, Dr. Peterson called the house number looking for me. Marcus answered. Hi, can I speak with David Thompson? This is Dr. Peterson from Midwest Medical Group. Marcus, you want to talk to my brother David? The David who lives here? Dr. Peterson, your brother David is the most respected financial consultant in the region, son. He manages $2.3 million in investments for my clinic. We're finalizing a new $500,000 contract. Didn't you know your brother is practically a legend in the financial sector? Dead silence on the other end. Dr. Peterson, hello? Are you there? Marcus, with a broken voice, I'll have him call you back. Sunday, December 8th, Marcus and Jennifer showed up at my new apartment, a $2,100 monthly loft in the financial district. Riverview, designer furniture, 2 parking spaces. Jennifer cried for 20 minutes. Marcus literally got on his knees. They offered to pay me back in installments. They promised eternal respect. They promised public recognition. They promised I would be the family hero. But they didn't offer love. They didn't offer a genuine apology for what they did to me psychologically. They only offered transactions based on desperation. Marcus, Jennifer, for 5 years you had thousands of opportunities to treat me like family. You chose to treat me like a convenient parasite. Now you want a second chance because you discovered the parasite was who kept the ecosystem functioning? Today, 6 months later, Marcus and Jennifer moved to a 2-bedroom apartment in Reynoldsburg. Rent, $1,400 monthly. The family home was sold in March to cover accumulated debts. I expanded Thompson Financial Consulting LLC. Team of 5 people, 2,000 square foot office, corporate contracts of $2.8 million under management. Marcus got a sales job with higher salary, $75,000 gross, but works over 60 hours per week. Jennifer went back to work part-time as a medical receptionist. They are rebuilding themselves. We meet once a month for dinner. Marcus treats me with reverential respect, not out of brotherly love, but out of terror that I might cut our only remaining connection, the premium health plan I still maintain to include my nephews. If you're feeling that satisfaction right now, hit that like button hard. And tell me in the comments, have you ever been the family's invisible ATM? Leave your like if you know exactly what it's like to support those who despise you. You know what the biggest irony of this whole story was? When I finally stopped funding their lives, Marcus had to truly grow up. Today he works more, earns more, and became a more present father to his children. Maybe the best thing I did for him was force him to discover his own worth, instead of living off mine. If you believe that sometimes the toughest love is letting people face the consequences of their choices, subscribe to the channel. Every week I share real stories of people who discovered their true value when they stopped supporting those who didn't value them. Hit like and tell me in the comments where you're watching from, and if you've ever experienced something similar.